Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how to add a material in Revit in this video. And most of the furniture pieces that I wanted, I've had to create myself because the manufacturer does not have Revit files for it, so I'm just modeling components after it. So I wanted to go ahead and show how to add materials to, furniture pieces. So I'm going to be just doing the example in guest room number 1 because it is basically completed. So, so yeah, this is the bed I wanted to model after. I know it says out of stock, but this isn't a real project, so I'm not really gonna be ordering it. Um, so that is why I don't really not bothered by it. So this is the bed. It's really pretty. As you can see, it has gold trim, bronze legs, white frame. So a lot of materials to add here. To add these materials, you're going to want to click on your component that you want to add materials to, double click it. And so here we are in the folder that I created it in. So these legs, I'm going to start with them. So I'm going to click on them. I created them as a separate extrusion from the rest of the elements of the component so I could add a separate material. So one thing you want to realize when you're creating a furniture piece, modeling after a furniture piece, if there are different materials, you don't want to create them in the same extrusion so that way you can add materials, different materials to these separate elements. So I'm going to click the legs and I'm going to go over here in the properties. I'm going to scroll down to material, and where it says by category, I'm just going to click all the way right here. So I see the 3 dots, and it's going to load your material, all your materials. So I am going to just type in brass because that's just kind of a close color. And so they have 2 different kinds, but I'm going to click this one. This is a material that Revit already has in here. So I'm going to click this arrow, and now that material is loaded. Now, as you can see, the legs are not shiny like this is. So I know I'm going to want this shininess, but just not for the legs. So I am going to keep this, but I want to just not make it polished. I just want it to make it satin, so it's not as shiny. So I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to rename it to be brass satin. So if you don't have to rename a material or nothing, you can just not do this. You can just click your material that you want and click apply. But since I want the legs to not be polished, I am going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to duplicate the asset by clicking these 2 papers here, and I'm going to change it to satin. And see, now it's kind of a duller gold, which is kind of like the legs here. So I'm going to click apply first, and then I'm going to click OK. And now the material of the legs are satin. Now I'm going to go to the actual shiny gold part, and I'm going to go to materials again in the properties tab, and I'm going to click the brass that has the shiny appearance, and I'm going to click OK. And now that's the material for that. Now for my mattress, I would just pick white, or I mean whatever color you want it to be, but for the frame it's white. So I'm gonna see if Revit has one in here. Here's some white paint. I'm just gonna do paint, and I'm gonna click OK, apply, and then OK. And I'm gonna do the same for the tuft part because that's also white. Okay, and for the mattress, I'll do white as well. Mattresses can be different colors, but so now that I have all my materials onto the elements of my component, I'm going to click load into project and close. And you're going to want to save your changes. This is a twin bed. I'm going to want to replace the old one, which didn't have materials on it. And now it's going to ask you, do you want to overwrite the existing version? And you're going to want to say yes if you want to see the materials applied. So now I'm going to save that because you just never know. You always want to randomly save your project, please. Okay, so now that I've added that, I'm just going to get a realistic view, not rendered, because I haven't even added lights yet. So if you try to render and, you know, in the inside and you haven't added lights, it's just going to be black. So I'm just going to do a realistic view. And this is just the carpet that I added, but if you zoom in, you can see it's applied to here. You can see the shininess on the frame, and you can see the white in the mattress. Now I have different views of the bed. So 3D view 5, I'm going to click realistic. And you can see the bed here. I have not added wall colors or colors to any of this other things, so that's why it just looks dull, but just giving a tour. That's just how you add materials to elements in Revit. It's really, really simple. Thank you for tuning in and watching, and I hope this video was very, very helpful.